Hello, my name is Cami, and this is my very first pregnancy vlog, which I'm really excited to do this. I know a lot of people do this, but I am excited to do it for a number of reasons. Number one, it's my first pregnancy, so I really want to kind of remember all the fun little things that happen. And also, it feels like forever before I'm going to have this baby. And I'm hoping that making these little videos will help the time somehow pass faster. I know that's kind of pathetic, but in my mind, this will work. So anyway, my name is Cami. I am 24 years old. I have been married for 3.5 years. Got married while I was in college to an awesome man, and I graduated from college, and I am a teacher. So those are a few things about me. We live in Salt Lake City, and we are so excited to be having our first baby. We were trying for about 3 months. Because I'm a teacher, the optimal time, of course, to have a baby is right in the summer, so that I can have that great time with my baby and then hopefully be able to come back in the fall, either part-time or full-time. So that was my goal, but of course that kind of created a small window to where pregnancy was convenient. And so I was doing ovulation testing, and it was all coming back negative, which was a little bit depressing. So I assumed, of course, something's wrong with me. But obviously, I think that's not true anymore. But anyway, so I was doing the ovulation testing. It was testing negative, and we tried for 2 months, and both times nothing. And then the third time, suddenly, I was pregnant. But let me tell you, I'll go over that story in just a second. And I'll try to keep this video short, because sometimes when I watch these videos on YouTube, I'm like, why are these so long? Like, I wish they were just shorten it up a bit. So this first one will be probably a little bit longer, just so you can get to know me, and so that I can get kind of all this first info here out. But anyway, most of these videos I'm going to try to make nice and short for you. Yay. But anyway, so I have to explain, like, in our culture here in Utah, it is very strange for people to be married as long as we have, 3.5 whole years, and not have a baby. I have a lot of friends who got married after me, or around the same time as me, that already have kids, if not like toddlers. I have to say, I am so glad that we waited. I think there was so much like to be done in our relationship in a good way, like to get to know each other better and to learn how we communicate, that I think was so important for our relationship before we had a baby. And a lot of people, though, around here don't really get that, and they'll ask you all the time, so when are you gonna start a family? When are you gonna have a baby? Which of course is all well-meaning, but sometimes it just makes you want to shoot yourself. But anyway, so I've been dealing with that for quite a while, but we were so excited to finally get to start a family. But I have to tell you, I don't know if it's because we've kind of waited longer than maybe some of other people around here would have, but I always pictured me not pregnant. Like, I honestly cannot imagine myself pregnant. It was not even in my realm of possibility. There's the pregnant people over here, and then there's me, way over here. And I can't even describe it. Like, I could not imagine ever getting a positive pregnancy test. I could not imagine being a mom. Like, I absolutely wanted to be a mom, but for some reason, like, that's what these people did over here, and this was me. So it was just so crazy when I got that positive test. I was like, it just shattered everything that I had kind of built up in my mind. I don't know if anyone else has ever dealt with this, so you can let me know, but it feels like today infertility is everywhere. It feels like I have so many friends who struggle with it in kind of different levels of severity or whatever, but I have so many friends who I feel like are infertile. And my mom, it took her 8 years to have me, and I was a surprise. The doctors told her she would never have children, and then I came. And so somewhere in the back of my mind, there's like this seed planted that I will not be able to have children. And especially, as I said, because infertility is so rampant, I felt like that was likely, very likely, that I could not have kids. So those first 2 months that I got those negative tests and that it was clear I wasn't pregnant, I was like, oh, it's true, I can't have babies. And so I was freaking out. even though, of course, my rational mind knew that I looked it up, of course, and the average time it takes to have a kid is to get pregnant is about 4 tries, so about 4 months. And I wasn't even there yet. I was not even halfway there. So I know it was silly, but of course, our minds, we know what we're thinking is silly, but it doesn't help us stop thinking it sometimes. So anyway, I had all these thoughts going on, just so that you can kind of get the background of where I was in my head before this happened. And anyway, so we were on our 3rd try, which was the last month that it was going to be convenient for us to get pregnant, so that I could have the baby in July, and I can have most of August with my baby, and then go back to school very end of August, beginning of September. So I was like, please let this happen, please, because of course, I think we didn't know what we were going to do if I didn't get pregnant the 3rd time. We didn't know if we should just keep trying and whatever, but because of the kind of teaching I do, it was going to be extremely difficult to have a baby during like September, October, November of the year. And so we were like, we hadn't really decided what we were going to do, but we're like, let's deal with that when that happens. If we don't get pregnant the 3rd time, then we'll worry about it. So anyway, luckily we didn't have to worry about that because we did get pregnant the 3rd time. I was late on my period about 2 days, and let it be clear, I am like never late, so this was like, And I kind of wish I hadn't told my husband this, but like the day before I took the pregnancy test, I warned him. I said, hey, I just want to throw it out there for you that I'm a little bit late, and I don't know what that means. Well, I mean, I know what that means, maybe, but just want to warn you. And he was like, okay. So the next morning, I couldn't wait any longer. I told myself I'm going to wait until the longest time possible to take the test, just so I can make sure it's right. And I took a test first thing in the morning, and it was negative. And I was like devastated. I just thought maybe this is so cool that my period's late for the first time in my life, right when I'm trying to get pregnant. Rude. So I was really upset about that, and I went to school. I had a good day at school, and then and then for some reason though, when I was leaving school, I thought, you know what? No, I am going to take another test. I'm going to get one of those like fancy clear blue digital pregnancy tests, because this is one of those kind of like little crappy ones that came in the ovulation test predictor whatever kit that I've been using. And I did remember, though, that it said that, it's not good to test in general in the mornings because our hormone levels are pretty low or whatever. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to test again. I want to be positive. So I got the Clearview Digital on the way home from school, and I came home and I took it. And, I'm like busying myself between waiting for those 3 minutes to pass, because this one, it shows like the little timer thing, which makes you just want to smash it. And it's just blinking and blinking forever. And so finally, I rush back into the bathroom and I look at it, and it says pregnant. And my whole world exploded. Literally. It was just, in the best way. I was running around my apartment, jumping like a psycho, just so excited, just running and jumping, saying, I can't believe it. Oh. And as I said, like, here was the pregnant people, here was me. So this pregnancy test smashed those two things together, and I could not. It's like my whole paradigm of my life. I had to readjust right there in that moment. And I was just so excited. And suddenly I thought, how am I going to tell my husband? How am I going to tell him? Okay, right? That's what everyone gets all excited about, like being all creative. So I realized that he was coming home from work in like an hour. And I thought, oh, that means I can't run around and get like something exciting to do. So I immediately jump on my good friend, the internet, and I start searching exciting ways to tell my husband, exciting ways. And finally, I kind of getting some ideas from some, message boards or whatever. I realized my husband loves technology, and the minute he gets home, he'll kiss me, say hello, whatever, maybe grab a snack, and then he is on that computer, because he does grad school online, so when he gets home from work full time, he gets online at night to do his grad school. So I knew that he would hop right on. So I took a picture of my pregnancy test, the nice pregnant one, and I made it the desktop on the back of his computer, on the screen. And I closed the computer, and I just waited. I waited. It was the longest wait of my life, waiting for him to get home. And he got home, and sure enough, it's like clockwork. He comes home, gives me a kiss. I'm just, of course, like my stomach's going to drop out my butt. I'm so excited and so nervous. And he comes over, he grabs something, whatever, from the fridge over there, and then he comes over here, and he opens that, and I'm sitting next to him like such a dork, like sitting there just looking at him, like so excited to see what he's gonna say. And of course, guys will be guys. He opens his his laptop and he kind of looks at it for a sec, and then he looks at me and he goes, "Right on." I don't know what I was expecting, but let me tell you, that was not it. It was so funny. Right on. So anyway, right on. We're pregnant, and then he kind of got more and more kind of giddy as it sunk in. Anyway, we were so excited. We spent all night just hugging and kissing and so happy together. And it was kind of crazy because my sisters came over like 30 minutes later, and it was so fun because it's like we had this little secret, and we would just kind of, we kept glancing at each other, and like he would like wink at me. And it was really awesome, and I quickly realized how difficult this was going to be to keep this secret. So these videos, by the way, are going to probably come a little bit late because I want to make sure that I've told my family and whatnot before these kind of come up on the internet, because who knows what people could find. But anyway, regarding symptoms, I do not feel pregnant at all, which of course in my irrational mind is making me really nervous, because I feel like maybe I'm not really pregnant. Maybe this is one of those like fake pregnancies or whatever. And so I'm a little bit nervous, still have that kind of in the back of my mind. If I would say I have any symptoms, of course now I'm ultra sensitive to every little thing that's happening. And I'm like, is this a symptom? And I'm freaking out. But I am pretty hungry, but let's be real. I'm always hungry, so I don't think this is a big deal. But my husband's like, yeah, you're eating more. And I'm like, honey, no, I'm not. I always eat this much. He's like, no, you're definitely eating more. So I don't know which one of us is right. But yes, I am really hungry. I do have a little bit of tenderness in the chest area, of course. It might be TMI, but let's be real. Everything with pregnancy is TMI, so we should probably get over that now. But anyway, so a little bit, nothing to write home about or anything. But and then I have had a lot of like mild cramping. Which I've researched, of course, because that immediately made me nervous. Like, am I miscarrying or something? And apparently it's very, very normal to have that. Like, it literally feels like I'm going to start my period, but I don't. And so it kind of feels like that a lot. It kind of comes and goes, but there'll be times when it's there kind of most of the day, and then it'll go away for a day, and then it'll come back. And apparently that's the uterus stretching, so I'm hoping that's the only kind of definite sort of symptom I think I've had. I've had no nausea. I'm on week 5. So I found out on week 4. And so this is like a week later. I change over on Wednesday. So today is the day after Thanksgiving. It's November 23rd, 2012. And I turned 5 weeks on Wednesday, on the 21st. So I am 5 weeks pregnant. I have not had my first appointment. I am planning on I'll probably talk more about kind of my birth plan later on a different video, but I am my midwife, essentially. I talked to her, and she says I don't need to come in until I'm like 9 or 10 weeks, or even later if I want. So of course this is my first pregnancy, so that's freaking me out because I want to know everything right away, and I want to make sure that I'm pregnant. I want to make sure nothing's wrong, and I'm kind of like that person right now. But so this is killing me to wait this long. So I'm probably we're gonna have my first appointment hopefully like the week before Christmas, like somewhere around December 19th. I still have to actually schedule it, so not sure on that yet. And then we're gonna tell our family at Christmas. So we're really excited to do that. I'll talk in another video about kind of how we're gonna do that, and I think we've come up with a really fun way. And it was really hard, though, to keep it a secret yesterday during Thanksgiving, especially when our good friends, kind of my husband's sort of like adopted brother and his wife, were at Thanksgiving, and they announced their second pregnancy, and their baby's going to be due a month before ours. And it was so hard not to be like, me too. But I refrained, and I'm so proud of myself. I didn't. My husband's looking at me during Thanksgiving like, don't you tell. And so that was really hard. But anyway, so I'll wrap this up. I know this is kind of long, but anyway, so that's kind of it, catching up, just because I have known for a week. But anyway, that's what's going on. Please, if you have any advice for me, let me know, because I am so excited another thing I'm excited about with this vlog is I love all the responses that people give on YouTube and stuff to people who kind of do this and are a really good support system, and I also women who've had babies before and can calm some of my crazy town fears, my first time mom fears, and also I can ask questions to you guys out there. So anyway, I guess my question for today is there anybody else who took a while to start feeling any pregnancy symptoms. I heard nausea can kind of come in more like week 6, 7, or 8, so I'm not looking forward to that while being a teacher. Kill me. But anyway, so I'm trying to be positive, though, and tell myself I will not get morning sickness. So we'll see how that goes. This is Cami signing out. Pregnancy week 5! 5! Yeah!